anyone who's being brilliant at the moment. And I'm quite emotional, actually, by all the things that people are doing. They're really stepping up to the plate and surpassing expectations, aren't they? Left, right and centre of how they're helping other people. So let's talk to two people now who can prove our point. Now, let's start with you, Dakota. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, you are a local councillor in Isted Rise, and I know that you've set up like a local support network, haven't you, for people to call for like food, prescriptions and all of that kind of stuff. How is that going?
It's going absolutely fantastic. It was set up about 3 weeks ago. We've had over nearly excess of 75 volunteers sign up.
Wow.
We've helped over 50 residences in our doorstep community, but helped others outside of our doorstep community and other communities within the Gratian Borough as well. So it's been a really, really strong support scheme that we've put in place to help those in need during this difficult time.
And who did you want to nominate for our Hero of the Week?
I think it has to go to Harriet. Harriet Howes, who's a local Grayson Grammar student who's really, really been such a supportive young lady with her call to action and what she's doing for our community and helping all her wonderful neighbours in Flower Hill Way.
Fantastic, and I'm so happy to say that actually Harriet joins us this morning. Harriet, how do you feel?
Oh, that's brilliant. I didn't actually know he was going to nominate me for that.
So, there you go.
Thank you to him. Yeah, I just think it's really important for more young people to try and get involved, because obviously it is us that's probably going to, be the people that can help the most, and we're more protected. So just anything that young people can do is just brilliant, and it's a brilliant support to the community, really.
Exactly. And what made you first think, okay, this is something that I want to do?
I was part of the Young Counselling Scheme, which is where I actually first met Dakota. And when I heard he was setting up the scheme, I just thought it was really important, because there are quite a few elderly and vulnerable residents within our community. So I know there's a lot of people that would need the support, and perhaps their families aren't nearby or something like that. So it's just important for us to help them, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're spot on. And what kind of things have you been doing?
So I put through a card with my contact information through any vulnerable residents. So I actually went round, and any neighbours that were just in their gardens, I asked, with Dakota's help, whether they knew anyone vulnerable within the road. So I did have one lady phone me from that contact information, and she didn't need any support, but she was like, I just wanted to let you know that in my situation I'm okay, but if I do need anything, I will ask. So
perfect. Yeah.
It's just if people know that there's someone there that they can rely on, then that's just the best thing, really.
Yeah, and are you finding it's really nice actually to bring the whole community together like this?
Definitely. Obviously, it's a lot easier within our close-knit village, and I understand that within perhaps areas that aren't such a close-knit community, it's a bit more difficult, but it is really nice to just bring the community together, because obviously, it is quite a close community anyway, but to actually get to know people that you otherwise wouldn't have really spoken to before.
Yes, exactly. And you're an incredible team. Let's bring in Lisa now, who's another one of the volunteers. Lisa, thank you so much for all that you're doing. Again, what made you think, right, this is something for me, this is something that I can do?
I just thought I would put myself in the shoes of all these elderly people, really, and I find it really sad that a lot of them don't have any friends or family or anybody that can help them. And I just think as a community, we've all got to think that could be our parents, it could be a relative of ours that's desperate for help, whether that be shopping, whether it's just a chat. And I just think it's been wonderful how our community has just pulled together the way it has, and hopefully nobody has been left not realising that this scheme is going ahead.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you about that, Dakota. I mean, it sounds like you're doing a very thorough job. Are you quite confident that there's nobody who's kind of, you haven't caught in all of this?
Absolutely confident. We've not missed anybody out. We've got at least 4 to 5 volunteers on each of the roads within the doorstep community, so we know coordination of who may need help in terms of they're vulnerable, if they're elderly that need support. So we've coordinated every single road consistent with all volunteers and their call to action when they come. And so once someone submits a form via the IRCA today, which is our community association form, then I coordinate it out to those volunteers in those particular roads.
Fantastic. And if anyone's listening to this and they are in your community, in your local area, they would think, do you know what, I could help too. How do they get in touch?
So if you contact myself directly or to visit on www.ircatoday.com/corona-support, there are forms there for them to submit over if they can give help or if they're in need of help.
And Lisa, do you think you'll end up making lifelong friends because of this?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. It's really nice because you've sort of built up some regular customers, if you like, and it's lovely that they feel comfortable with you, that they can trust that you're going to do and get what it is that they need. So yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, and Harriet, a final point from you. I think what you said at the beginning was really important about young people getting involved. What would you say to any sort of fellow teenagers who are listening, who are kind of on the fence about this at the moment?
Just like, don't be afraid. People, they're not going to judge you, because obviously I can't drive, so I can't get some shopping if they ask me to, but I know I can always ask someone else within the support team to do so. So don't feel bad if, you know, the level of sort of service that you can provide is quite limited. Even if it's just talking to someone on the phone for 5 minutes, it's still going to be greatly appreciated by that person. As long as you're making a change to at least one person, you've done well, really.
Couldn't put it better myself. Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you, all of you, and a big sort of virtual round of applause there. I won't start clapping because it will sound weird with just me, but you can imagine that all the people across Kent who are listening are clapping you. Thank you so much for volunteering, for making all the difference, actually, in your local community. There we go there. Dakota Dibben there is a local councillor in Isted Rise. He's set up, as you've heard, this support network locally, which has caught everybody. You know, everybody who needs help is getting help there because of the work that's going on. And we've got Lisa and Harriet, who are the volunteers as well.
BBC Radio.